Welcome back to Houston Life. Since 1982, September has been recognized as National Sewing Month. And for generations before that, sewing was considered a necessary homemaking skill. It was also a game changer for the economy, women's rights, advancement of the middle class, and productivity.
And even though now sewing machines maybe are not quite as common in every home as they once were, sewing remains a creative outlet for men and women, everyone really, to create, fix, upcycle. Sherry Reese of Thimble Fingers, a sewing studio in West Houston, offering classes and camps, is joining us now with more on National Sewing Month. Sherry, it's so great to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
You've been in this location in West Houston for about 20 years, but doing this for about 25, and you're seeing people of all ages and demographics come in to learn how to sew, right?
Yes, especially in the last 20 years or so.
And you were telling us during commercial break, you even had a gentleman who came to you. He was so stressed out with life and work and everything. He turned to sewing as a way to just get through some mental health issues.
Yes. Yes, and he made clothes for his daughters. And
What was it about sewing, do you think, that helped him ease his anxieties?
well, he couldn't find something to relax to.
Yeah.
And then he started thinking about his childhood and remembered the times he felt best was the sound of his mother's sewing machine in the background, sewing all the time. And he thought maybe the sound of, relating to the sound of the machine.
That makes
and
sense.
Sure enough, he came for several months, and so I guess I hope he's still sewing.
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when you think about sewing, some people think it's maybe something antiquated. They don't need it. Fast fashion's all the rage. But what do you think? I mean, me as myself, as I'm getting ready, it's like a button, a hem. It's these little important things that are part of everyday life. Exactly. What are you finding why people need to learn?
Well, a lot of them stay away thinking that they've got to get into real high-tech skills, and that sewing machines are harder to use and things. But you can get a whole lot done with a needle and thread.
Really?
And it can be fun stuff, or it could be utilitarian, like sewing buttons. And
we're seeing some images right now, by the way, of your sewing studio. And again, we're seeing people of all ages. Some of these newer sewing machines with the digital screens and the buttons, they've come a long way from the Bernina that my mom uses at home. I have a Singer sewing machine at our house, super handy for hemming and doing draperies or whatever. By the way, just to go back on National Sewing Month, this was under President Ronald Reagan. He's the one who declared the month National Sewing Month. And it really is interesting how the evolution of sewing has changed so much, because a lot of homes just don't have those sewing machines anymore. What are some of the skills that you're teaching? If someone wants to sign up, come see you for a class, are they starting on a sewing machine, or are they starting just by hand?
Yeah, my specialty is getting everybody up to speed fast on a sewing machine. There's a list of do's and don'ts, and go home and practice, just like music lessons or English or language lessons. And then also just how to decipher the code built into commercial patterns and start putting stuff together. And then be prepared to have your first try not look very good.
Yeah. I love that though, because we were just talking about doing the next new thing, and I heard you have a demo for us, and I'm a little intimidated by it, but you just take us through it.
Yes. Well, I decided one of the current rages is visible mending, and which is if you've got people intentionally slash their jeans now, but you can sew them together by just doing decorative stitching, hand stitches and stuff to make it more visible. And so today I thought I'd just show you simple what's called a blanket stitch.
Okay.
And you can get a piece of felt, and this would make a bookmark if you finished doing your blanket stitch all the way around the edges. And then you can use the same stitch and work from a center point instead of a linear thing, and put flowers on the inside if you like.
Okay.
So we may not have time to finish, but
we've got time to start.
Okay, so I have you all on a setup. And so what you can do is hold it, if you're right-handed, move over, line up with your most recent stitch and move over about the same amount, or eyeball it. And if it's not perfect, then lean into it and do them in all different sizes.
Oh. So if you mess up, make it look intentional.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Like, I like it that way. That's one of my kids' best comeback when I try to correct them, but I like it this way.
Oh.
So with your needle
Wait.
coming up above the edge.
How did you do that?
Let's see, all you need is to just have your be sure your needle is coming through the most recent loop.
Okay.
And
I'm leaning into this.
okay, just put your needle through that loop
Through
towards
here?
no the other direction towards you.
Other way.
Yeah, and then pull straight up. So, and if you're starting fresh, then move over the same amount over and just put the needle straight through, and then stick your needle up, and then take your free end thread and wrap it behind your needle. Then pull your needle, and you can pull it over to
wow,
keep
you're
it,
doing it so
and
quick.
pull straight up, and make your thread behave a little bit.
There is something very satisfying about creating
Oh,
something.
yes.
If you've ever had a piece of clothing altered as well, I mean, even just a simple hem, that can certainly add up. A sewing machine, you can get an inexpensive sewing machine. It's still an investment around $100, but this is something that when you add up the cost of taking your items to a tailor, ultimately it's a skill that will save you money and save you time, right?
Exactly. And really nice textiles are pretty expensive these days. So if you were going to sew key parts of your wardrobe, it's not necessarily cheaper. But stuff like this, you can keep a little kid entertained for a whole weekend on just having them make a bookmark and a scrunchie and
I know
little
some
things.
of the moms at home heard that part. Like, what? They could keep my kid, what could keep my kids
Yeah.
busy?
Sherry Reese, before we let you go, I just want to hold this up. And could you tell us, is this something that you created by hand?
No, that's a find that I found in an antique store. And this is just to show that this goes deep into our DNA. This was, it's at least 100 years old, someone told me. And, but it's completely done with needle and thread and scraps of fabric, and they just create a little scene just out of their head, improvising the whole thing.
Gorgeous.
But there's many different kinds of stitches in there to create that. So,
Well, Sherry Reese, we got to leave it there, but we'll see you sometime at your sewing studio.
well, I'll look forward to it. It'll
Thank
be
you
great
so
to
much
have
for
you.
stopping by.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
National
Thanks.
Sewing Month. To connect with Sherry and learn more about her sewing studio, Thimble Finger Sewing Studio, you can visit our website and look for that scene on Houston Life section.